I like my channel to be as inclusive as possible, whether you've been a Digimon fan for 20 years or since yesterday. I think it is super important to encourage everyone of all levels of fandom to engage with Digimon. It doesn't matter whether you've played one game or one VPET or you've played them all, you're welcome here. But even the biggest Digimon expert probably doesn't remember all 1400 Digimon. Some of them are incredibly rare with only one appearance or not even fully appearing at all. And on today's video, I'm going to be listing my top 10 Digimon you've probably never heard of. What is up everybody, welcome to another video, and yes, we are going to be listing my top 10 favorite Digimon that you've probably never heard of. Now, I know there is probably someone out there who's typing already, I know every Digimon, I know all of these. If you know all of these, congratulations, you're in the upper echelon of Digimon knowledge. But I'm hoping with this video to at least cover one Digimon that hopefully all of you have never heard of. And if you have, maybe I can give you a little bit of trivia that you might not know about that Digimon. Also, this video is sponsored by Buyee. You know Buyee by now if you've been watching my channel. They have been super supportive of the content. They are the proxy service which allows you to buy items from Japan, Yahoo Shopping and Auctions, Mercari, Rakuten, Amazon JP, and more. If you're looking for a way to get items from Japan, specifically Digimon merch like this D-Arc Ultimate behind me that Buyee gave me, Buyee is the place. It's super easy to use. I use it all the time myself. I'm not just saying that just because they paid me. I legitimately do use Buyee. I've got a set of Digimon cards BT6 coming in from Buyee, and I'm so glad I get to partner up with them and do these sponsorship deals for you. And of course, there is always a kickback for these sponsorships. So you guys, if you use my link in the description, get 2,000 yen, that is $20 off your first purchase with Buyee. Thank you to Buyee for sponsoring this video, and let's get on with the countdown. First up is a Digimon I think the most of you have a good chance of knowing, and that is Bemon, or Vemon. This is a Digimon exclusive to Digimon World 3 which has never appeared again. It is a little alien Digimon which can digivolve into Snatchmon and Destromon, who also have not been seen since Digimon World 3, and I just think it's very interesting. It's this super alien Digimon, and while not a Digimon that has shaken the foundations of the franchise by any means, I do think it's pretty cool, and I think it would have been nice to see it again. I especially think the current season, Digimon Adventure 2020, would have been the perfect opportunity to show off Bemon again. And a little bit of trivia about Bemon is that its actual mouth design is based on Tentomon. Now this could just be the kind of situation where a lot of Digimon have similar eyes, but how cool would it be if this was kind of the Genesect of Tentomon? Much like how Genesect is a constructed Pokemon, some people think it might be based on Kabutops. How awesome would it be if Bemon was a Tentomon in alien armor? I don't know, that's just me fanficking. Yeah, Bemon is super cool. It has a full Digivolution line, very limited amount of art, basically only concept art. At least give it proper art and a page in the Digimon reference book, you know? Come on! Hey, come on, come on! Next up is Navimon, and this is a Digimon that I've only recently become aware of because of Wikimon and Gyotchan, and thank you to Wikimon and Gyotchan for that. Navimon is a Digimon who teaches you how to use the D-Scanner. According to her profile, she is a girl shrouded in many mysteries, such as her age and birthplace. She's usually kind, but also has a hysteric side. Wikimon also points out that the kana that makes her mon suffix is likely a pun on the word moan, Navimon, which is likely a reference to her hysteric side, which is referenced in the profile. People had apparently seen Navimon before, but we're not 100% sure whether she was actually a proper Digimon or more like a human dressed as a Digimon, but it does seem this is a Digimon. And honestly, I don't know if she needs to come back, but I think as like kind of a Digimon encyclopedia style thing at the end of each episode, that could be pretty cool. A Professor Agumon style segment where Navimon tells us about, for instance, in the current anime, maybe each continent, like a continent report rundown. That would be kind of interesting. It's a fun design, but I'm not exactly begging for her to come back, but it is always cool to see more Digimon that I've never heard of. With Wikimon only tweeting about this on May 18th of this year, that feels like a very recent revelation to me, so that's really cool, and that's why she's on this list. Now, next up on the list is a Digimon which actually is two Digimon. And this is going to be a consistent theme with this list going forward because a lot of Appmon actually share the name of very rare Digimon. So I'm not talking about the Appmon in this video, I am talking about the original Digimon. And in at number 8 is Batterymon, and I'm betting a lot of people haven't heard of this Digimon. This is technically a Digimon, but it only appears on the Digimon crossloader in Japan when the crossloader is running low on battery. Yeah, it's not even a Digimon you can get in the crossloader, but it is technically a Digimon, and it is just saying, hey, the battery on the crossloader is low, it's time to change them. I just think it's so neat because this just looks like it should be an icon, but technically it's a Digimon. It doesn't have a reference book entry or anything like that. But how many of you have heard of Batterymon? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up on the list is Blickmon or Tinmon, and this is actually a kind of rarity for this list because it does appear in quite a few games and VPETs, appearing in Digimon World 2, the D-Gather, the D-Spirit, and the D-Spirit 2. And I just really like Blickmon. It just looks like one of those old school kind of like Jetson style robots, you know, the wind-up toys. And again, really odd. It appeared in 2 Digimon World games, so you may have seen it if you played those games. It has evolutions, digivolving from Clockmon and Tankmon, and digivolving to Boltmon, but it has no official art. Not even so much as a little bit of promotional art for the first Digimon World or Digimon World 2. It has a sprite from the D-Spirit and the D-Gather, but no artwork, no reference book. It's just this weird little Enigma Digimon that did appear in 2 video games, but seemingly will never appear again. So let's show Blickmon some more love and maybe one day at least get him some official art. Next up is Burpmon, and I love the idea of this Digimon. So Burpmon first appeared in the Digimon twin L and R, and the only way to get a Burpmon was if a Digimon's weight exceeded 80 grams. Hey, it's the host with the most, Future Khan. This segment was originally much longer, with me saying it'd be great to see Burpmon in the new Digimon Adventure 2020 anime, but I doubt it would happen. And then it happened. This Digimon, which I just never assumed would turn up again, that I put at number 6 on my list, just showed up in the anime. A lot of you probably heard of him now. In at number 5 is Copymon, and this one I reckon is going to get a few of you. Copymon, much like Batterymon, only appeared in one VPET, the Digimon Pendulum version 20th. Its sprite in the game looks like a very tiny Agumon, so a lot of people may just assume it's meant to be Agumon, but no, it is its own Digimon. Copymon can be used to copy Digimon from other Pendulums and the Digital Monster version 20th. The most common reason for using this is to make DNA Digivolutions easier, and according to Digimon Wiki, some Digimon can only be obtained as Copymon. The Digimon copied will not be added to the album, and a Copymon can copy any Digimon that is registered in the other Pendulum's album. Copymon can copy Digimon from all 4 version 20th Pendulums, and password Digimon are given as Copymon. So again, not to make Pokemon references in the Digimon video, but basically Copymon is ditto. Next is Fushimon, and this is a Digimon from the cancelled Digimon Legendary Skies, a video that I have been promising for a while, I know, but it's a big research video, it's been taking a while, hopefully it'll be out this summer. But Fushimon was one of the original Digimon that was supposed to show up in the cancelled Chinese manhwa sequel to Digimon Frontier. It's a pretty interesting design. It reminds me of the in-training form of Arcademon, but with a slightly cuter aesthetic to it, and I feel like this is one that a lot of people will not have heard of because A, it was technically never released, and B, the media that it was going to be released in was a very niche Chinese manhwa. So while not exactly a design that will light the world on fire, Fushimon is very unheard of, and I think could have had a lot of potential if Legendary Skies had have gone ahead. Next up is Gaiamon, not the Appmon, and no, there is no picture, not even a single image of Gaiamon, because technically we never saw it. And that is because Gaiamon is the ultimate goal of Ragnamon or Galactimon in Digimon World 3. Now I know someone's gonna be like, well, I played Digimon World 3, I remember it, yeah, okay. But I still bet there's a ton of people who either don't remember that Digimon or never played Digimon World 3 and didn't see that name. The goal of Galactimon was to merge itself with the planet Earth and become Gaiamon. Gaia, of course, coming from the other word for Earth. So you can imagine this would have been an incredibly powerful Digimon, a kind of Unicron situation where a Digimon is a planet. The only thing that could defeat that would be, ironically, Galactusmon, but never mind. I just think it's super interesting that there is this Digimon that is hyped up and talked about a ton and then just is never seen. I think it's kind of weird that they gave it a full-on name, and it's very good for lore reasons that Gaiamon is a thing, but it would have seemed more obvious to just not give it a name and just say, I will merge myself with the planet and become the ultimate Digimon, but no, they specifically call it Gaiamon, and it almost feels like a little bit of a cock tease, you know? I want to see what Gaiamon would have looked like. Do a sequel to Digimon World 3, make a Digimon World 5, technically, although Data Squad was called Digimon World over here too, so Digimon World 6? But then there's this DS games. Make a new Digimon World game and finally make a design for Gaiamon. I really want to see it, but don't destroy the earth to do it. In at number 2 is Golemon. No, not that one. Remember when I said there were a lot of Digimon with the same name? Well, most of them are Appmon, but this one, number 2, is a actual Digimon in Japan called Golemon, although in the West it was called Rockmon. This again is a Digimon World Digimon, but also a Digimon that showed up in Digimon Digital Card Battle. This is like the Mokujin of Digimon. It looks a lot like a little diminutive Mokujin, but with the Mount Infinity scan lines on it. I'm gonna level with you. Like I say, I've never completed Digimon World 1. So when I was researching this video, I personally was super shocked to hear about the fact that there was another Golemon or Rockmon in the West. So this is probably one that more of you have heard of. The title is Digimon you've probably never heard of. Me, I've never heard of Golemon until this week. Just such a weird little outlier, especially with it being kind of the same design as Mount Infinity itself. It could very easily be construed to just be kind of like almost an environmental hazard and not a Digimon in its own right, more of like a digital life form. But no, here is this other Golemon that just exists in Digimon World 1, and I just don't know anyone ever talks about it. You know, there's a lot of like instances where things have the same name and people go, oh, well, not that one, this one. I don't think anyone that I've ever encountered talking about Digimon has ever gone, oh, I love Golemon. Oh, not that Golemon. There's no confusion there, which to me pretty much indicates that a lot of people don't remember Golemon or don't know about it. And that's why he's my number 2. And number 1 is Guidemon. And this is number 1 for a variety of reasons. First of all, I think it's a really decent design. I love the look of it, the kind of floating monitor vibe. It also reminds me of the little robots from Flubber, which I'm a big fan of. But more importantly, it reminds me of Monitormon, which is a very prominent Digimon in Digimon Cross Wars and the Cross Loader. And Monitormon is getting a lot of love recently. It has a card in the Digimon card game, but Guidemon precedes it by a number of years, appearing in Digimon Next, the manga. Digimon Next ran from 2005 to 2008, but Digimon Cross Wars didn't show up until 2010. I feel like even in the discussion of manga, everyone's always talking about V-Tamer and never talking about Digimon Next or Digimon Chronicle. So I feel like a good amount of people may have just never heard of Guidemon. It also doesn't help that it has a kind of generic name, like Guidemon is very similar to Navimon, another Digimon on this list, so you'd be forgiven for maybe even thinking it's the same Digimon and not a Digimon in its own right. But Guidemon is an actual Digimon, and it helps Tsurugi out in the net battles in Digimon Next. The little propeller on its head, the rabbit ears, the arms, I just think it has a lot of potential. You can also see with the rabbit vibes and the clock that it also kind of looks like the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, so maybe a full line of Alice in Wonderland themed Digimon robots would be really cool. A Mad Hatter robot, a Queen of Hearts robot, a lot of potential there that was never touched upon, and again something that I think hardly anyone will know about. Alright, well that is my video. Let me know down in the comments below, which of these Digimon have you heard of, if any? If you've heard of all of them, congratulations, you are an Agumon professor. But I'm betting there's at least one of those Digimon that a lot of you won't have heard of. First, sound off in the comments down below and let me know how out of touch I am, that actually all these Digimon are super well known and I'm a fool for thinking anyone wouldn't know them. Or don't. As always, liking and subscribing really does help right now more than ever. YouTube recently did a cull of a lot of people's subscribers. We're not sure why exactly, some of them seem to be coming back. If you do enjoy these videos, subscribing more than ever really does help out, like in a major way. Plus it makes me feel good. Don't you want me to feel good? Alright, let's thank some channel members. My Digi-destined level channel members: Triple D, Night 12, Andrew Sobel, Sad Uncle Callum, Tippy, Crimson Dragon Slayer, and Anthony Bontomasi. Thank you, Digidestined. Your continued support is absolutely amazing, so thank you so much. And my Tamer level channel members: Mew Will, Sam Mallow, NQG420, Nagel, Emily, John Hawkins, Mike McNulty, Theo Navarro, and Reese Williams. Thank you, Tamers. And to everyone in the Karn Club, you guys are amazing, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.